up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will, you know I appreciate it. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speak TV. Make sure you subscribe over there. And again, thank you to everyone who's been donating. You all have been showing up and showing out, and trust me, everything goes back into the channel, and I just want to give you all a special shout out. Now, let's get into this story. All right, y'all. Now, this story comes out of Shenandoah County out in Virginia. Yes, out in Virginia. Y'all know I gotta do this story about our favorite people, Skeeter, Earl, Cooter, Bubblegum Billy Joe, and Cindy Lou. I'm trying to make this story really light as possible because when we look at all the issues that are going on in the world, man, you have to laugh or you're going to cry. But definitely we will continue to stand for justice. And this story right here is about a pastor, and it says 5 people have been arrested in Shenandoah County in connection with an ongoing case surrounding a black pastor who was allegedly assaulted by a group of people. The pastor drew a weapon to protect himself. However, he ended up being the one who was arrested. According to the announcement from the Shenandoah County Police Department, Pastor Leon McCray of Lighthouse Church Marketplace International Ministry was charged with brandishing a firearm. The Shenandoah County community has rallied around Pastor McCray's defense after he posted to Facebook early this month saying, "Who does a black person call for help when the sheriffs and the ones who are sworn to help and protect you can't see you and can't hear you, but they rather stand with the mob and those that want to kill you? This happened to me in Edinburgh, Virginia on June 1st, 2020. This traumatic miscarriage of justice has damaged and changed my life forever. They couldn't see me nor hear me. Can you?" Now, I'm going to let you all watch the rest of these videos, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And you all know me. I'm your boy Dawson, and I won't hold back.
And we begin tonight with breaking news out of Shenandoah County after deputies say that 5 individuals were arrested and charged with assault by mob and assault by hate crime. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Rogers. Thank you for joining us tonight. WHSV's Kyle Rogers is in the newsroom with the latest on this case. Now, Kyle, you just spoke with the alleged victim.
Yes, I did, John, and there is a lot to unpack here. This allegedly began on June 1st when Pastor Leon McCray called 911 saying a mob of people was threatening him. But when the Shenandoah County deputies showed up, they arrested him. McCray was charged for brandishing a firearm. However, that charge is expected to be dropped after he spoke with Sheriff Tim Carter about what happened. McCray says he saw 2 people dragging an old refrigerator toward a dumpster at an apartment building he owns in Edinburgh, and he asked them to leave. McCray says a few others then came along who allegedly assaulted him. Now, I just spoke with him moments ago. Here's what he said happened.
One of the guys snatched his shirt off and circled around behind me. That's when it really got bad. At the same time, they all were just really violent in terms of their the things that they were saying out of their mouth, racial epithets, and the N-word and your black life, your MF black life don't make it doesn't make a difference in this county. It doesn't make a difference to me, and we would kill you. And it's just on, and it was all in my face.
And McCray told me he pulled a gun in self-defense, but pointed it to the ground, hoping they would back off. Now, right now, Donnie, Dennis, and Farrah Salyers, as well as Christopher Sharp, face charges of abduction, assault by a mob, and hate crimes. They're in custody, including Amanda Salyers, who's also charged in connection to this. Sheriff Tim Carter says he feels the department let McCray down. Today, Carter says 2 supervisors involved in this incident are on unpaid administrative leave as this investigation continues.
I asked them to leave the property. They were trespassing and so forth, and they got very angry, got irate.
Leon McCray says it started last Monday morning when he noticed a couple of people dragging an old refrigerator toward the dumpsters at the apartment building he owns in the small Shenandoah County town of Edinburgh.
They were all up on me, at the same time threatening to kill me, using all type of racial slurs. Your black MF life don't matter around here in this county. We don't take that crap, and I don't take it either. I'll kill you.
He says the first 2 came back on his property with 3 friends and assaulted him.
I mean, fearing for my life, really to save my life, I pulled my gun, and I pointed it down to the ground in hopes that they would back off.
He called 911, but when the deputies arrived, it was Pastor McCray who ended up in handcuffs.
No one has interviewed me, and now here I am. I'm in handcuffs now. They're still cheering and carrying on and acting crazy, and they put me in the police car, and now they're taking me off to jail.
Deputies charged the 61-year-old McCray with a misdemeanor count of brandishing a firearm, even though the Virginia Code says it does not apply to any person engaged in excusable or justifiable self-defense.
Mr. McCray was defending himself, and I believe Mr. McCray.
The sheriff says he is disappointed that deputies arrested McCray. He says the department let him down.
You don't believe he ever should have been charged?
I believe had I been there, that this would have gone in a totally different direction, Bruce.
Does the Second Amendment apply to me?
The sheriff has now asked the prosecutor to drop the charges against McCray, and just a moment ago, he said she agreed to do that. Deputies have also gone back and charged 4 of the 5 people who allegedly attacked the Air Force vet. 2 with criminal trespass, the other 2 with assault and battery. Bruce LaShan, WUSA 9.
Thanks, Bruce LaShan. I'll take it from here. All right, y'all, let's go in. Now, according to the sheriff, the department is also conducting an internal review, and they have placed 2 staff members on administrative leave without pay while conducting an inquiry. It's an ongoing investigation, the sheriff said. The sheriff said that he has apologized to Pastor McCray and that he appreciates his patience as he works through these matters. The sheriff wrote in a statement, "I do listen to citizens' complaints and I take them seriously." The sheriff also went to say that he wants the people of Shenandoah County to know that I and the sheriff's office staff appreciate and care about the minority communities, especially our black communities in this county. He also said that I continue to support and recognize the importance of your constitutional rights, especially your Second Amendment rights to protect yourself and your family. Now, I understand, Sheriff Timothy Carter, that you respect and understand people's constitutional rights and their Second Amendment rights, but do your police officers know that? Do they respect that? Because when I did more research on this case, I found out that when Pastor McCray got arrested, when the police got to the scene, they automatically went to the 5 people, the mob group right there, these savages. They went over and talked to them. Not once did they go over and ask Pastor McCray his side of the story. They didn't get his side of the story. And when they came to him, they told him they were placing him under arrest for brandishing a firearm. And the pastor said, "What do you mean? I'm licensed to carry this. They attacked me. They harassed me. This is my property." They were coming over to the pastor's property. He owns those apartment buildings right there. They were coming to dump a refrigerator in that dumpster that is there for the people in that apartment complex. The pastor was trying to explain that to the police officers, and one of the police officers said, "Look, we can only do one thing at a time," and that one thing, the only thing they did at that time was just arrest the pastor. So when you talk about we respect our minority community, we respect your rights to bear arms, it doesn't seem fair, or it seems that that law works when it comes to people of color. Or especially when you have police officers who get to a scene and they don't make a fair assessment of the situation, and then they only arrest one party because they've only heard one side of the story. After the pastor was arrested, the officials called the pastor back to the office for a meeting. And there the sheriff and along with some of the officers was there, and they told the pastor, they said, "We have had complaints. People in the area have said that this particular family, this family of 5 here, they have not only harassed people in the neighborhood, they also have been charged in the past for assaulting people in the neighborhood." And the pastor said he was sitting there listening to the police officers, and there was one police officer who was there, and he asked him, he said, "You were there at the time when I got arrested. If you knew that this family not only harassed people in the neighborhood and they assaulted people in the neighborhood, why would you arrest me? If you know that this family, these 5 people here, they have a history of doing this, why did you arrest me? And the pastor said his emotions got the best of him, and he just basically went off respectfully, and I can totally understand. But what really got me in this situation is that the pastor talked about when he went home, and he said he was feeling so much bitterness and anger inside of him, and he said he started to cry, and he said that he just fell in his wife's lap, and his wife began to pray for him, and he said that as his wife was praying for him, that he could feel some of the bitterness that was in him just starting to go away. And see, that's why you got to have you talking about prayer warriors, not these fake people in the church who can't get a prayer through. I ain't talking about these clout chasing Christians who can't get no prayer through, not them. When you going through trouble in your life, you better know some people who can be able to really pray for you. Because if I was feeling the way the pastor was feeling, I don't know if I would have failed. It would have been revolution time. Now, y'all see, they mess with the right one. They mess with the pastor. And I can understand how he was in his message he was preaching, because this is his YouTube channel. Please go over there and support him. Watch the video. He talks about that in this particular YouTube video right here, for such a time as this. What happened to him and how he believes that everything is happening for a reason, and how this pastor, he served in the armed forces. He's an educated man. He has no criminal record. He is licensed to carry a firearm. He owns property in this community. He's giving people options to have housing. He's providing housing for people. And this happens to him. And as he was sitting there saying, I've never had a criminal record. I've done everything right. And this happened to me. Lord, no justice, no peace. Now, the sheriff went on to say that all 5 people were taken into custody and that they are now in jail, held without bond, and that the investigation continues to go on. Now, let's look at these people real quick. I like to call them the Sawyer Savages. That's what they call the Sawyer Savages, this little clan right here. And we have right here, this is Amanda Sawyer. She's 26 years old, and she looks like little Hitler's niece. That's who she looks like to me. And then we got Donnie Salyers, and Donnie is 42 years old, and he's been charged as well. Donnie is one of the men who assaulted the pastor. And then we have Dennis Sawyer. He assaulted the pastor as well. And then we have, Christopher. Christopher, he's not a Sawyer, but he's probably related some way to them. He is Christopher Sharp. He is 57 years old. Boy, you could look at people and just tell life ain't 57 years old. And then this really got me, y'all. When I looked at this picture, I said, come on, Grandma, why you out here fighting with the people, Grandma? Grandma, you should be able to tell your nieces and nephews or your sons, whoever these people are, you should be able to tell them to stop this madness. You are the oldest one in the group. Grandma, shouldn't you be home listening to Patsy Cline? Shouldn't you be home cooking some Rocky Mountain oysters? Somebody put in the comments what Rocky Mountain oysters is. Somebody do it for me. Somebody do some research. Find out what that is. I didn't know what that was till I read Reba McEntire's book, and she grew up on Rocky Mountain oysters. Grandma, shouldn't you be home cooking some Rocky Mountain oysters? And y'all, when I found out this lady's age, I almost fell out. This is Farrah Lee Salyers, and she is 42 years old. Oh my God. See, I could look at you and tell you life being hard, everything being hard. That's why you so miserable and you so hateful and you have so much negativity in you, because it's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word. We can see it. We can see it. It is written all over all of y'all faces that life has been hard. 42 years old. Now, y'all know this lady look every bit of 92 years old. Tell me I'm lying. Jeez. Funniest part, well, it's not funny, it's sad, but when these people confronted the pastor on his property, all 5 of them, they were surrounding the pastor, they were calling him, all kind of racial slurs and saying, you're the N-word and your black life doesn't matter in this county and your black life doesn't matter to me and I'll do this to you. And they even said that they'd hurt the pastor and take him off the planet. Now, if I was there, definitely I would have been on the pastor's side. Pastor, we would have went down together. But see, I would have been, I would have been ready to go to jail and everything like that. But I would have definitely made sure they felt some of the sting. This mouth would have been talking, especially when I seen this lady. I would have been protesting. Yes, I would have. No justice, no peace. Go back in the house and get your teeth. No justice, no peace. Get out of my face, you racist beast. No justice, no peace. Keep that meth away from me. No justice, no peace. Run back in the house and get your teeth, grandma. Come on. Oh my God, life has been so hard. This lady looks every bit of 92. Oh my God, life for you has not been a crystal stair at all. Jesus. Mugshot looking like the coal miner's daughter. Well, I take that back. You're not the coal miner's daughter because you're not Patsy Cline. God knows that. Jesus knows. Maybe them songs Patsy Cline had, they were songs for her. Crazy and, I fall to pieces because her teeth has, all the pieces are out of her mouth. So, Lord, my God, 42 years old. All that anger and bitterness on the inside has eaten up everything on the outside. And I know some of y'all may say, Dawson, well, don't pick the people. Just pray for them. Just pray for them. Oh, yeah, well, you pray. I'm going to do this commentary that keeps you coming back. I'm going to simply report the news again. But are you going to pray for the pastor and his wife? Are you going to do that? Are you going to pray with all the other things that are coming up around the USA and around the world, all these injustices? Are you going to pray for that? What you going to do about it? Because, see, these people, the Sawyer savages, that's what I'm calling them, the Sawyer savages, they just mess up everything. They are in such a low place that they just want to spew that negativity out on everyone. That's why they attack the pastor, because they are in a low place. As a matter of fact, I think Garth Brooks probably wrote that song for this family. I got friends in low places, because these people are in a low place. They are in a low place. Somebody say, Dawson, you know too much classic country. How do you know all this? Because I grew up around people like this. I went to high school with people like this. There were only 12 black people in my high school class. And I think how many? It was like almost 300 of us that graduated. I grew up with people just like the Sawyer savages. Listen, I know too much classic country, and man, please, riding on the school bus having to listen to this stuff. Looking at them, that's their theme song, Garth Brooks. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie fair. Y'all ruin everything. You ruin the stuff in the neighborhood. The neighborhood don't like you. The people reporting y'all to the police. Because the hate on the inside is eating you up on the outside, and that's why y'all look the way y'all do. Now, y'all go over to the pastor's page, give him and his wife some encouraging words. The pastor was invited to speak at a rally that happened in his community, and he told the story of what happened to him by the Sawyer savages, how they, harassed him and they assaulted him. And he's getting a lot of support from people in the community and people in other states who are hearing this story. So what I want for my subscribers and people who view my channel, go over to his YouTube page, go over to the pastor's Facebook page, to his wife's Facebook page, and let them know that you stand with them. And as the pastor stated, that he prayed, his wife prayed for him so that bitterness would not reside in him, so that he could be proactive to do something about it. That's what we all have to do. We ain't got to get bitter about it. We can face every injustice that comes upon us because we've been called to make those bad things right. We've been called for such a time as this. You cannot go and hide up under a rug. Well, why is this stuff all coming out now? Because we didn't deal with it years ago. That's why it's all across the nation. For such a time as this, we have to deal with it. Yeah. So you can sit back and, oh, Jesus going to come and take us on to Wakanda and we ain't going to have to worry about it no more. No, you going to have to worry about it. And y'all keep, somebody told me this and I started laughing. They say, Dawson, people always say Jesus coming back. But do you think Jesus in a rush to get back if he was treated the way them people treated him? I would. See, we say stuff like that because nobody ever wants to tap the power within. The power that Jesus said he gave us. I gave you power. Why you not using it? You the salt of the earth. Why you hiding? You the light of the world. Where you at? See, some of y'all are imposters. You just don't have it. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. I ain't gonna never shut my mouth. If you don't like it, you just gonna have to fall out and then get back up and hear me talk again or turn it off. And some kind of way, you still gonna listen. Because we gonna speak truth to power over here. I love all of y'all. I appreciate everybody who support this channel. All that information, donation information is in the description box below. Thank you everybody who's been donating and putting everything back into this channel. I appreciate it. I love y'all. Until next time, it's your guy Dawson. Go off in the comments. Talk your mess. Don't let nobody stop you either. Peace.